Michael's in his walking era, which means I'm in my driving era. This is a busy canal and a lot of that traffic comes from hire boats. If you want to rent a boat, there's a lot of options here. To the right is the base for one of those hire companies at Wrenbury Mill Boatyard, and it looks like most of their boats are out at the moment, which is good. There's lots more visitor moorings on this side of the bridge. I spot a boat coming towards me, and as we're due to meet on a bend lined with moored boats, I decide to hang back here and wait for them to pass before I go ahead. It's not strictly necessary to do this, but I'm definitely more comfortable being cautious. Along here there's private moorings to the right and visitor moorings to the left. That was Michael throwing some litter that he'd picked up into our bow.
Yeah,
he tends to collect litter when he's walking along, and there isn't always a bin available. In fact, there usually isn't one. That was Wrenbury Firth lift bridge, and on the offside of the canal is a garden centre. You may have noticed that Perseverance is in desperate need of a paint, but I don't feel quite so bad when I see this boat, which also needs some love. Just past Thomason Bridge is the Thomason Bridge winding hole. With scenery like this, it's really no wonder that this canal is so popular. We left Wrenbury this morning, this is Norbury, and we're approaching Marbury. There's a canal-side glamping site on the offside here, with several camping pods. We've travelled just over 2 miles through the stunning Cheshire countryside this morning, and we're now approaching Marbury Lock. There's quite a strong bywash coming into the canal below Marbury Lock, but because the outflow is quite spread out, the force isn't as harsh as it could be. There are a lot of boats on this canal, but there's also a lot of mooring options, along this stretch at least. You can always rely on Michael to make friends on the towpath, especially if there's dogs involved. We pass under the A49 road at Coisley, and then we arrive at Coisley Lock. I'm not actually abandoning Michael, he wants to keep walking. The next lock is called Willymore Lock, which is next to the Willymore Tavern. If it was later in the day, we may have an audience, but it's early enough that the pub isn't open yet. If you look at the water below the gate, you'll notice that there's a slight delay from the time when Michael finishes winding the paddle to when the water arrives in the lock. George is the only gongoozler outside the pub today. Actually, scrap that. He lives on a boat, so he's technically crew. Just a few hundred metres up the canal is Povey's Lock, and when we arrive below the lock there's already a boat coming down, so we moor up and help them through. I know I keep saying it, but this is a really busy canal, and there's already another boat waiting to come down.